Welcome back to the special Powie's edition of POW Pro Wrestling. Hey everyone, Brian Zane, Mr. Ooh La La, the man in black over here.
Je suis le homme noir because of this category we're going to be discussing momentarily here.
Yes, I know you're just dying to get the words out, mister. It's true. We are talking about some of the best and brightest of POW Pro Wrestling in 2022. The voting is going on right now, folks. The link in the description will take you to the poll where you can vote for not just this week's categories of most popular and most hated, but also Tag Team of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and Match of the Year, and more. Go to the link in the description to get in all the action and make your voices heard. Well, folks, this week, like I said, we're talking about a couple of polarizing categories, so to speak. We're going to begin with the most hated. You know, there are a lot of baddies in POW Pro Wrestling. It's easy to see. I'm kind of surprised there's a couple of people who aren't on this list, if I'm being honest here. But we've got some real definitive bad apples, I would say, here on this list. All great athletes, all great performers,
yes, right.
all. But there is a defining trait and a bit of a commonality with a few of these. I'm going to run through these names right now. Tell me if there's a common thread that you notice, folks. You got the Blanchard brothers, Dr. Cleaver, Abigail Warren, the Midnight Heat, and Vinny Massaro.
Oh, so let me guess what the commonality is here. The Blanchards, Abigail Warren, Vincenzo Massaro. So you're saying that I've tainted the careers of these superstars. My taint has smeared their reputation to where they are not admirable, not applicable to be considered popular by the masses.
Well, you know, mister, your interesting choice of words aside, I would say that yes, the fact that you have been aligning yourselves with the Blanchards and Abigail Warren and Vinny Massaro for so long, it's, you know, got the fans a little rankled at what they see, and, you know, you certainly do your job very well, I will say that much.
How could Vincenzo Massaro possibly be most hated? He's like an Italian Elvis, walking around, handing out, you know, Snug-Light t-shirts. Merci beaucoup, grazie mucho.
He has the hips for it, I'll give him that. But of course there's Dr. Cleaver, who is one of the longest tenured wrestlers in the area.
He's mean, he's bad, he's vicious.
Left a path of destruction in his wake everywhere he goes, and of course POW's no different. He's left a path of destruction just among tag team partners this year alone.
And Abigail Warren, I've done my best to try and firm her and shape her to be brutal, to be barbaric, but there's a bit of resistance there. I might vote for Abigail Warren as most hated because she's been my problem client all year long.
Well, you know, we'll have to see where the voting lands, and of course can't discount the Midnight Heat, one of the best tag teams in the POW Pro Wrestling tag division, and of course, as good as they are, it comes with being a reputation for not being well liked by the fans. Now, me personally, I do like the Midnight Heat for a lot of reasons, but I understand why they might win the most hated award.
I'll tell you, just vote for the Blanchards because the Blanchards, especially Baba, who likes to scream at everybody in the crowd and puts them in their place. They don't like you either. They don't like you either. They don't need you. They don't want you.
Well, folks, you've heard us talk enough about these nominees. Now time to go to the highlights, showing you the best and brightest of the folks that people love to hate. Most hated nominees right now.
You know, it does not really matter who wins. It's not a popularity contest here, Brian saying most hated. Who cares what these little peons think? It's all about the wins, the L's, and the dollarini. The little dollarini here, but nothing. That's what it's about. Money. So no matter who loses this most hated contest, it is a no matter. My blood pressure will not rise. My head will not explode with rage. I will just skip along, happy along. Pinkies entwined with Vincenzo and the Blanchards as we hop merrily along through our life, collecting wins, collecting money.
Well, first of all, it is a popularity contest, mister. Through all that, I have to correct you on one major thing. It is a popularity contest. It's all about who you, the fans, vote for by going to the link in the description, and you cast your vote, you make your voice heard to let you know who the best of the most hated is. Who's the most hated? Who's the winner of the most hated award? Who's the winner of Wrestler of the Year, Tag Team of the Year, Rookie of the Year? You make the call. Go to the link in the description to vote on the 2022 Powies. Mister, we've talked about the most hated. We have to move on now, though, talking about the most beloved, the most popular wrestlers here at POW Pro Wrestling, because of course, what good is a villain without a hero? And maybe the other way around as well, am I right?
What's a villain?
Your nominees are the Devil Drexel, the 6-foot stunner Rebel Kell, the YouTube champion Outlandish Zicky Dice, the Hammer Brothers, and the POW Pro Wrestling champion himself, Funny Bone.
Boo!
Now, Mister, yes, I know that name doesn't bode well for you. You've had some you've gotten in the way of a lot of the nominees here this year for the Powies.
That's right. Drexel, he cut me. Zicky Dice knocked me off the apron. Rebel Kell smashed into me, used my hand to make the 3 count. Sledgehammer squished me in the corner, much like Rebel Kell. And Funny Bone, and my back is still being adjusted from all the things he did to me, huh? My dermatologist is still very concerned.
Well, where chaos happens, I guess, well, Mr. Ooh La La is sure to follow. We've got a lot of great nominees here for the most popular this year. I think each one of them can stake a claim to being the most popular. Hey, what about that dynamic of Drexel and Funny Bone? They're teammates. I mean, can you imagine fans of Most Violent having to choose which one or the other?
They must choose. Perhaps it will cancel out. The votes will cancel out somehow. They would be, irrigated. Is that the word? Irrigated into Vincenzo's category. And Vincenzo Massaro will be the most popular wrestler of the year.
I don't know if that's how it's going to work with the polling here. It's a different kind of election than you're thinking of. But not only that, but also Rebel Kell, like you said, Rebel's gotten in your way a little bit, and she's roughed you up. And of course, you can't discount Outlandish Zicky Dice, star of Impact Wrestling, and of course here at POW Pro Wrestling, and he is the Wrestling with Regret YouTube champion, representing the brand the best way he knows how.
What's that, Vacant? The Vacant's whispering to me over here, huh?
No, that's not the real Vacant, folks. That's the Vacant Buddy. It's very much a prototype right now, though.
Vacant said they will not be voting for Zicky Dice.
Well, okay, I'm glad to hear that Vacant has made their
That's
choice.
one vote. You've lost, Zicky Dice, and your lack of respect for Vacant and their legitimacy as YouTube champion.
Yeah, well, no, he's definitely a legitimate champion, far more legit than what Vacant was. And of course, he is in the running for most popular. Then, of course, there is the champ himself, Funny Bone, the Hammer Brothers, Rebel Kell. There's so many superlatives and so many things we can say about their ability and, of course, their power they have over the audience. But let's let their actions do the talking. Here are the nominees for most popular right now.
Rah, 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 rah.
Man, that was some exciting... Mister, come on.
Funny Bone! Funny Bone!
Yeah, I bet you were afraid of Funny Bone.
Ah!
You just slept through his whole highlight package.
I had a dream I was sleeping I was on one of Funny Bone's OnlyFans videos. I was on a bed of nails, and then this big, monstrous... let's get back to the episode.
Yeah, keep it behind the paywall, mister. This is definitely going to be a tight race among all the nominees for most popular in POW. I can tell who you definitely don't want to win. Funny Bone, like I said, he's got a case. If I had to pick one person, but it'd be a toss-up, I guess, between Funny Bone and my YouTube champion, Zicky Dice. This might shock some people, but I'm gonna have to go with Zicky on this one. Sorry, Funny Bone. The bias is set in for me, and I can't deny it.
We are going to be closely monitoring the IP address of every vote that comes in for Zicky Dice. I'll have you know I'm hiring a private firm to reassess, in between the Golden Globes And between the Oscars, that same firm that does the voting for them is going to do it.
Okay, I see. So you're ponying up the money for that. Is that correct, mister?
Oh, I just thought those things handled themselves. They usually do.
Well, folks, of course, the power lies in your hands, not someone like Mister's or even mine. You have to go to the link in the description and vote for who you think should be the most popular wrestler of the year at PAL Pro Wrestling. Check the link out right now. Be sure to vote on that by January 31st, and then we will announce the winners of the Powies. Mister, next week, of course, we are going to round out our Powie nominees by showing you the Wrestler of the Year and the Match of the Year. PAL, of course, has had some amazing matches in its time here in 2022. Some real bangers, as the kids say, and you're going to relive those incredible matches and the wrestlers who were in them next week. But until then, folks, for Mr. Ooh La La, I'm Brian Zane. Don't forget to vote. We'll see you next time.